What's going on, toy collectors? This is Badass Reviewer, and I'm back with another review. This time I'm taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Wave 2 Boba Fett. Woo! So excited to get this. I really was looking forward to this guy the most, as was everyone pretty much that likes Star Wars at all, because Boba Fett is, he's cool, but I don't know why. It's debatable, but he is probably the coolest character in Star Wars, just because he's just a straight up badass. But why is he such a huge deal? He's not really even in the movies that much, except for part of Empire and in the beginning of Return of a Jedi. So it's like he's a very minimal character, but it's like he's just really badass when he's on screen, I guess. I wish we could have seen more of him, because that would have been awesome, but for some reason it's just like anything Boba Fett related is just explosive, huge. So I guess, I don't know, it's just really weird to me. But here's the figure. Let's look at the packaging. I normally don't look at packaging, but I figured I would on Boba Fett since I did with Han. And it says, the notorious bounty hunter Boba Fett prepares to deliver the carbonite frozen Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. And then it says, he's no good to me dead, which is probably the only line he says ever in the entire film and the entire series. So I guess that's about all he could have said, or they could have had for his quote. But anyways, here is the figure. Pretty awesome. A lot of cool things going on with him, a lot of cool detail. It makes Marvel Legends look like a pile of shit, so good job, Hasbro. You've done something right. At least we have some kind of hope in you, but just whatever. You're our only hope. Anyways, so looking at the detail, it's just awesome. They sculpted everything on him. It's ridiculous how much sculpting went into this figure. The helmet is just worn out. It's got like paint missing from his helmet from battle. He's got the dent in the head. He's got all this crazy paint going on, detail going on in the back. Come down to his shoulder area, or not his shoulder area, but his torso area, sculpted on body armor. He's got this logo here. He's got some stuff here. He's got I forget what the symbol means. It's for his tribe or whatever. I forget, but I'm sorry. I like Star Wars, but I just don't know all that crazy stuff. I know what it is. I just can't think of the name. But over here we got more damage to his armor. Just insane amount of detail. Even in the gauntlets here, he's got all this like gizmos and stuff, or I guess that's on this side. This side's got all the gizmos and whatnot, and just so much detail, and it's pretty ridiculous how much detail went into this guy compared to all Marvel Legend figures that Hasbro puts out. So it's kind of like, what the hell, man. But we come down to his waist area. He's got some pouches here, which kind of get in the way of articulation, but it is a separate piece, so if you really want to, you could flip it around and give him more range of articulation, which I tried to do, and it seems kind of hard, and I don't want to force anything. Oh, here we go. Alright, we'll leave it like this just for the sake of the review, so I can continue talking about articulation later. Down here, he's got some pouches or something on his leg, some weird squares, but they don't really look like pouches, which is kind of weird. And he's got these cool knee pads, and then we go down to his feet, and he's got pretty plain shoes, but they got these little spike things on it. So I'd say the upper torso is definitely the best part of him, but not to say that takes away that his legs aren't very detailed. There's not much going on with his legs anyways, but it's still really nice. And then he comes with 2 accessories. Actually, he comes with 3, I guess. He comes with this standard pistol, I guess, which I don't think we ever see him use. And then he comes with his signature blaster, which has some pretty cool detail. And it's made of soft rubber, which I feel like is going to warp at some point, just because it's kind of hard to put in his hand. And then when you do have it in his hand, you kind of, if you don't position it right, it'll kind of start warping. At least from what I noticed, and bless me. Or excuse me, whatever. But still, pretty cool weapons. And he comes with his jetpack, which has a lot of cool detail on it too. Not as much detail, but as much detail as it needs, so that's cool. So yeah, he's got this thing here, which is kind of like a soft but hard rubbery plastic that's kind of just connected up here at the shoulder. So I'd be careful of that. You might snap it off on accident. But detail is just amazing. I'm really happy with this guy, how he came out, and I'm really glad that I was able to get him on a pre-order for relatively the same price it would cost to get him in stores. So I'm happy about that, because there's no way anybody's gonna find this guy in stores unless you're a scalper, or you know when they're coming in exactly, or you have some kind of hookup. It's gonna be insanely hard, and it kind of sucks. They should have, you know, packed this guy 2 per case, but then I guess that means when scalpers get to it, they get 2. So I don't know. It just kind of sucks that people are unable to get this. But let's go over articulation. His head is on a ball joint swivel, so basically the same as all the other figures, but his head does not pop off. At least I don't think, and I don't want to force it, but I can see that there's a ball joint there, but I tried to pop it off earlier and it didn't seem to want to go, so I didn't want to risk breaking anything. So it is on a ball joint swivel, so it can get full range of articulation left and right, up and down. He does look up really good, so that's good for when he's flying. He looks down really good, so when he's, you know, stepping on someone's throat and blasts them in the head or something, that's awesome. Arms can go in at some degree. They go in, but his shoulder pads kind of get in the way, and you kind of got to get it just right to make it go. Otherwise, you're kind of just like forcing it to go into the joint to go up, so it might scratch up the shoulder pad and screw something up. So I would that's about as much as he goes outward, so you can still get some good posability, but just be careful not to break anything. So do it at your own risk, basically. His elbows, he's got no I can't think of it. He's got no swivel in the bicep, but he does have a swivel in the elbow, as well as a single jointed bend. He has that on this side, but there is a hose connected to his gauntlet here. So what they did is they actually added a piece of articulation where he can rotate right here at the bicep instead of at the elbow, which he could still rotate at the elbow. It's just that this hose is connected to his arm, so it would potentially just snap otherwise, so you got to be really careful. But I mean, it's so stiff that this part will just move without this other part moving, so just to let you know. But he does rotate at the gauntlet, so that moves there, if you can see that. And then he has a swivel in the wrist as well as a hinge to go in and out, which is really nice. He has that on the same side. No ab crunch, but he does have the same diaphragm joint that everybody else in the series has, which doesn't really seem to get a whole lot of motion for mine. So I'm not sure if that's just mine or if it's because of this belt. I'm thinking it's this belt. This belt's kind of clunky and big with these pouches in the back. So, well, in the front or back. So I think if the belt was either was a little bit smaller and moved down a bit, I think you'd get a lot more, but not too much going on there. But that's just fine because it works out good anyways. But anyways, legs can go forward and not back because of the way his butt's sculpted, and go in and out. Rotates at the upper part of the thigh here. 2 bend or double jointed knees, bend in the foot, and the new ankle pivot. So really awesome figure. Super glad to pick him up. He's just, I would say, out of the entire wave of these, or well, I guess it's only the second wave, but so far this is probably the coolest one, just because it's Boba Fett. Which, I mean, not that the popularity of him is what makes him the best, but it's just the detail. Here he is next to Han Solo. He is about the same size. His helmet makes him a little bit taller, especially with his little antenna thing, whatever, I said that weird. Here he is next to a stormtrooper, which is the same size, which it should be because they are the exact same person in the movie, so because they're all clones of Boba Fett. So yeah, that's really cool that they actually matched them up. I mean, I guess like the helmets kind of make their heads a little bit taller, but in real life they're about the same size and in figure wise, so that's really cool. But anyways, oh, here's Captain America. How's he hold up to Captain America? He's a little bit shorter than Cap, so he's not your typical 6-inch Marvel Legends size, but these are Marvel Legends, so it doesn't matter. But I would highly recommend you guys pick this up, even though I know you guys are going to pick it up anyways. I really hope you guys have good luck picking it up if you are trying to find one still. Hasbro Toy Shop probably has them, but they're always sold out when I go. Amazon's already at 40 bucks per figure, so that's probably not going to happen. So hopefully you guys will find this guy and enjoy him as much as I am. And until then, I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving, and I hope that you will subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. I'm running out of things to say and I'm trying to think. So please comment, rate, subscribe, and post a comment, which I already said. Alright, I'm just gonna end this now. See you guys.